Hey, what's up, everybody? I got another little video for you, and I got another story to tell. So, I once heard from a book called Atomic Habits uh, by James Clear, that changing your environment is a really good way to change the way you think, change your attitude, that kind of thing. And I always thought that was kind of interesting, and I never really tried it before, except one day I happened to just do it by accident. My family had gone on vacation, and I was left alone at home because I couldn't go. And what I found was while they were gone, I was doing kind of different things, and I was experiencing like a level of peace that I hadn't experienced before, which felt really interesting. Like, I usually am more holed up in my room. It's not like I have a bad relationship with my family. It's just that I want to be on my computer. I want to be doing my own thing, that kind of stuff. But when they were gone, I went into the living room. I sat on the recliner. I watched like four Studio Ghibli movies. I feel like a few I hadn't never seen before. Like I'd never seen Porco Rosso before. That was a really good movie. And I just felt more relaxed, and I felt a lot calmer. And it was so strange to me. I didn't really understand why that was the case. But I think back to that story in Atomic Habits, where the author, he talks about how there were soldiers that were heavily addicted to heroin in Vietnam, and he said once they came home, their addiction was gone. And obviously, like, a big part of that's due to the fact that they can't readily get heroin as as easily as they could. They probably could if they wanted to. But that was probably a huge barrier for them once they came home. But the other thing was that the book tries to make clear is that it was such a different place. It was such a different environment from where they were, that they were able to also move away from the habit. And I think that's what was going on with me. I think that, sorry, I just realized we're in the technical timeout. I wasn't paying attention. I was telling the story. but I think that's kind of what happened with me, was that I just there so many things had changed. Instead of like sitting at my computer and watching YouTube or like playing video games like all day, I went to the living room and watched movies and made myself a pizza. And I also watched, like, there was like a couple South Park episodes the specials I hadn't seen. I think the end of Obesity was on at the time, so I watched that one and I thought that was kind of funny. And then there was another one I watched that was funny too. And I just, like, that's what I needed. I did that. I like did some chores around the house too, and I wasn't pressured to do chores by anyone. No one came to tell me like, "Hey, you gotta do this. Hey, you gotta do this." Blah 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 blah. And it's like that wasn't the case. It was very much, I'm in charge. This is my own space for the time being. It was like a week, I believe, and this is what I'm doing. This is my life. I'm responsible for this stuff, so this is what I just have to do, and I just have to get it done. Once I get it done, it's like, I don't know, it felt so much more peaceful at the end of the day. And when they came back, I felt so refreshed. I felt like I said, I felt like I had gone on vacation. And what I really appreciate, I'm thinking about that now because the same situation is happening again. And I'm interested in looking for the same kind of peace that I had during that time. And I think one of the things that I learned, not just because the environment itself has changed, but I think as well, it's that I have to add in certain changes that will bring about something positive. If I'm always in my room, no matter what, then yeah, I could watch those Studio Ghibli movies or whatever in my room. Sure, I could do that. But if I decide to like be a little bit more comfortable and sit in the recliner, make a pizza, chill out there, that's a lot different than sitting in my this chair I have in my room. Like, it's not uncomfortable, but like the recliner's more comfortable. And I think as well, sometimes I can get nervous about wanting to have that kind of change. Like, that's very normal for a lot of people. During that time when my family had gone on vacation, there's this movie theater that does like food and movies and stuff. And I had noticed that, the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring was playing there. And it was the extended edition or whatever. And I had never seen these extended editions before. And I'm like, oh, I could go watch Lord of the Rings and eat food or whatever. Eat like Chipotle sliders and, have a big ass soda and cheese, bacon fries, and I can go do that in a movie theater and watch this, like, I think it's like 3.5 hours or something like that, and watch that movie. And I totally talked myself out of it. Like, I was about to go, and then I just thought about every possible negative thing. I thought, I don't want to drive that far. I had to drive like 45 minutes to get there. It's like, I don't want to drive that far. I don't want to spend all that money, even though I had money to spend. It's like, I don't want. What if I sit in a movie and I just want to go? Like, what if I just don't want to be there? Like, should I even bother going? And I think you will give yourself an excuse to talk yourself out of anything. And I think I'm learning that it's a real shame when it's something I actually want to do. I mentioned in the last video, and then I think even in the video before that there was a festival that happened this past weekend. And I wanted to go with a friend because I thought that, if I make a friend go with me, then I'd actually be able to have fun and enjoy my time and, maybe let him in charge, and that way I don't have to think about anything. We could just go and do stuff. And I was actually dreading it the whole day. And I was about to text him. I was about to say, you know what? I don't care. Like, I don't want to go. Like, I can't. I just don't feel like it. Whatever. Blah, 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 blah. But as soon as I was about to text him, as soon as I pulled out my phone, he texted me and he said, hey, let me know when you want to go. And I just immediately texted him and I said, right now. Like, I wasn't going to let myself do that, So I said, right now, let's go. And we went, and I told him, like, I was nervous, and I don't really understand why. And I think it is just like I've isolated myself so much that it has made things a little bit harder to do. But I did go. I had some good food. I had some brisket. It was really good. And it was like a jazz festival, so like we listened to music. We saw the stage. We were pretty close to it and everything. Listened to more music. I was there for like, I don't know, we weren't there that long. I had other stuff to do that day. But there for like maybe 2-3 hours, something like that. And I had a good time. And it's things like that where fun things don't need to be overcomplicated. And I think if you keep to the same environment, you self-isolate as I have, then things just become harder in the end. And I never wanted that to happen. So now that I've been able to go through the festival, now that I've been able to really think about how I want to spend my time now that my family's away and how I spent it last time. I'm really in a good mood, and like I think I'm really in a good mindset. And I think that as long as I can maybe just do a little bit something new, then that should be enough. Because I do want to do new things and I do want to do interesting things. And I think I've let myself get to a point where I've let the weight of the world push me down further and further. So I think I'm doing a lot better, and I'm thinking about the good things that are here to come, because there's more festivals I can go to. I'm hanging out with a friend tonight. I've got this video that I am excited to edit, and then I have another video for a different channel that I'm almost ready to release. I just got to do like a couple more edits. So, but yeah, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed story time again. I think in the future, I want to like maybe write some better ideas out. I've only come up with these ideas recently to just think like, you know, they're just about me. But I think the way that I talked about in my first story time video, where I talked about the girl at work and stuff, I think that connected a lot of people, and I think maybe it would be beneficial not to just talk about things I'm going through, but also be beneficial to talk about things I've learned. So, because I saw a lot of feedback in a good, positive way, where maybe we can all learn from each other too. So, but I appreciate you listening. Appreciate you watching. Let me know what you think about story time again. Let me know if you think you want to listen to more. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.